Balatro was nominated for Game of the Year last year, and like any good game, Balatro has a pretty decent modding scene. It's nowhere near as big as some of the other games like Risk of Rain 2, but I do think over time more and more people will be making mods. That said, it is worth mentioning that Balatro will be getting a gameplay update sometime this year. When? I don't know when, but it's going to happen, and there's going to be some changes. So there's a good chance this modding tutorial will need to be updated. But until then, this video will do. But before we get started, if you like my videos or any other videos I made, please like, subscribe, and share with all of your friends. Spreading the good gospel of high-tech lowlife really helps me out in the YouTube algorithm, and it helps people find my modding guides. And, of course, I'll be making more modding guides for different games. You just gotta let me know what games need to be modded. So let's talk about the tools of the trade today. Today we need to talk about R2 Modman. It's a mod manager for a variety of different games. As the name implies, it's meant for Risk of Rain 2 modding. But it also supports many other games that have mods hosted on Thunderstore, which is the website where all these mods are stored. Now, modding Balatro isn't as straightforward as, say, modding Risk of Rain 2 because of some weird issues, but it's not too bad to mod otherwise. To get started, you'll need to download R2 Modman and something called App Image Launcher. So app images do work on Steam Deck, but sometimes they have issues, especially in regards to running app images in game mode. But with App Image Launcher, things should work out just fine. So you'll need to go on the GitHub page for App Image Launcher by The Assassin. You'll then need to go into Releases, and then select the right download. In this case, it's App Image Launcher Lite 2.2.0 Travis 995, a bunch of numbers, and x8664.appimage. That's what you want. So go ahead and download it, and then once it's done downloading, you'll want to do this. Find where you downloaded it and put it in your home folder. It's only asking me to overwrite anything because I've already done this once, but if you're doing this for the first time, it shouldn't ask you for anything. You'll want to right-click the app image file, press Properties, go into Permissions, and press Is Executable. This step is very important, so don't skip it at all, okay? You'll want to right-click and then press Open Terminal here, and then you'll want to type in the name of the app image, and then followed by space install. So it kind of looks like this, okay? You can pause and type it in if you need to. And then it'll install App Image Launcher Lite. And then once it says it's been installed successfully, you're done with this step. Now let's get R2 Modman working. This step is pretty simple. All you need to do is download R2 Modman. You can officially download it from the Thunderstore website, thunderstore.io. Press the manual download button and then it should download R2 Modman. It'll come with a bunch of different versions of the application, but the one you want is the .appimage file. Just open up the zip file that downloads, and then you'll see a bunch of different versions, as stated before. In your home folder, you'll see an applications folder, and you'll want to copy the app image into there. If you've downloaded R2 Modman in the past, you'll want to update it periodically by downloading it from their website. Just overwrite the old one, and you'll be good to go. If you notice inside the R2 Modman zip file, it says R2 Modman-3.1.55.appimage. For simplicity's sake, I like to rename it to just R2 Modman.appimage, and in my humble opinion, I think that makes things a little simpler. Now you have R2 Modman on your Steam Deck, and yes, it runs in game mode because you did the prior step. Also, one more step too, you'll need to go into Steam, right-click Balatro, press Properties, and then add this launch argument. Y_DLL overrides equals version equals n, b, parentheses, space, %command%. This is required to run modded Balatro in any capacity, but you can also launch unmodded Balatro anytime you want, so you can keep this in here even if you end up not modding Balatro ever. So to mod Balatro, let's go ahead and launch R2 Modman. One feature I never talked about is the fact that you can actually bookmark games in R2 Modman. You can favorite them. I don't own all of these games, but I do own Balatro, Risk of Rain, and a couple of others on this list. So what you do is, you find your game. In this case, Balatro is in the B section under all of the games labeled A. So you hover over it, and then you press the star button in the corner, and you have it favorited, and it's pinned to the top. So you select it, and then you can make a new profile. We're going to start from the beginning, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this modded profile. And then we're going to make a new one called Modded. And we're going to select our new modded profile and then press Select Profile. and for the most part, things are pretty good here. Now, to even start modding Balatro, you need 2 mods. One of them is Lovely, which is a modding framework required to mod Balatro to begin with. And the other is Steam Modded, which adds a mod menu to Balatro. You can enable and disable mods in there, and you can enable things like modded runs unlocking achievements, or seeded runs unlocking achievements, and other stuff like that too. Now, for whatever reason, the new versions of Steam Modded are not available on the Thunderstore, and as such cannot be downloaded by R2 Modman directly. I do hope they rectify this, so until they do so, you will have to go through this step. So on their GitHub page, there's a link that says how to install Steam Modded, and it says click here, click on that. And if you go to method 3A, direct download, it'll give you a link to download it directly. And yes, go ahead and download it. Now here's something cool R2 Modman can do. It can import manually downloaded mods. Go into settings and then scroll down until you see import mod from file. It'll ask you to import a mod that's either in a zip file or in a .dll file. So what you want to do is find that zip you downloaded. In this case, it should be smods-main.zip. So go ahead and import it, and then just do whatever. You can give the mod name, give it an author, etc, etc. You don't have to bother with it, but because I'm feeling nice, I'm gonna do it anyways. And then you press import mod and it should be imported. But here's the thing though, there's one more step you need to do. You need to go into the R2 Modman directory. To make things a little simpler, you can have R2 Modman open up the directory. Go into the settings page and you'll see a button that says Browse Profile Folder. Press that and it'll open up the profile folder, which makes things a lot simpler. It's hidden in a .config file. And then go into the mods folder and then go into Steam Modded-S mods. It may have a different name depending on what you named it when you tried to name the manual mod, you know? And then you'll want to move that smods-main folder back into the mods folder. I know, it's stupid, but trust me, that's how you get mods working, because it didn't work when I didn't do that. I also imported a different mod, Balatro Plus. It's not available in the Thunderstore, you can get it from their official GitHub page. So I'm gonna press start modded and then hopefully it should start up. And as you can see here, it works. There's a mods button now, and it sees Balatro Plus. Amazing, super, excellent. And as you can see here, Balatro Plus adds a bunch of new stuff. What sorts of new stuff? Well, I'll show you. Here's my first game with this brand new deck. And as you can see here, it's kind of crazy OP. Like seriously, 1.5 million in ante 5. To be fair though, I am in pretty extreme debt, but yeah, whatever, I guess. And as you can see here, with the way I did it, if you launch Balatro directly from Steam as you would normally, you get a totally unmodded version of Balatro, meaning you can run both modded and unmodded Balatro at will, which is excellent. Now let's get some more mods. Do you think 4x game speed's a little too slow for you? So do I. Let's get a mod that fixes that. It's called the More Speed mod. Now, for whatever reason, it'll try to download the outdated version of Steam Modded. Because we already have it installed perfectly, you'll want to uninstall this new deprecated version, and press uninstall Steam Modded only. And yes, multiple mods downloaded through R2 Modman will try to download that old version of Steam Modded. So just download all the mods you want and then uninstall the old version of Steam Modded. Trust me, it'll make things a little simpler. Now, there are some mods that don't work as expected given that Balatro recently got an update. So my recommendation is to download mods one at a time and test them to see if the game works, and if it works, then that's great, but if it crashes, then, well, you probably know what mod messed it up. And look at that, more mods. Just added a bunch more mods. Isn't that great? Yeah, that's great, isn't it? Now, I've been launching Balatro and R2 Modman in desktop mode, but does it work in game mode? Well, you know the answer to that, of course it does. Adding R2 Modman as a non-Steam game is trivial, but if you need someone to tell you how to do it, then here's how you do it. Go into Steam, then press add a non-Steam game, and then look for R2 Modman. It should be in the applications folder, but in this old footage I have it in a different folder. And then go ahead and press add selected programs, and it should be in your Steam library now. Now, without the app image launcher that we installed earlier, you wouldn't be able to launch R2 Modman in game mode, and I know I've had issues with it. But as you can see here now, it works just fine. You'll want to select a mouse profile to control R2 Modman because, well, you can't navigate it with controller. You can, however, use a touchscreen if so desired. I would just add a button for pulling up the keyboard, like the Y button. Now, if you did everything properly, you should be able to press the Start Modded button and then Balatro will just start in game mode as expected. And, cross your fingers, if everything works as expected, then you should be able to launch Balatro in game mode with little issue. Provided, of course, you downloaded mods that you know for a fact work on Steam Deck and aren't crashing the game for whatever reason. Hey, look, I can control it. Everything's good. Now, as per Local Thunk, we're getting a new update for Balatro, and this includes game-changing elements. It'll be a free update that introduces new ideas and new concepts and new options. Of course, I don't know what any of those options are. I don't know if they're new jokers or maybe new mechanics or whatever. But I will say, if Local Thunk adds modding support for Balatro, that would be insane. And that would like elevate the Balatro modding scene to a whole new level. Like, I'm not sure if you've seen it or not, but the Slay the Spire modding scene is very active, especially in the Asian community. And all of this is because it has official workshop support. If Local Thunk managed to do that, then that would be, quite frankly, insane. But, I mean, we can still mod it just fine otherwise, right? If you like this video, please press the like button and check out our other videos. And if you like those other videos as well, be sure to press the subscribe button and share the good gospel of high-tech lowlife with your friends. Furthermore, we have a community Discord for enlightened individuals such as you. And if you wish to further support high-tech lowlife, be sure to check out our Patreon page. Links in the description.